guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Foster-Kajin Gosley, and today we are back again to guys with the OC episode 8. Last episode, Marissa overdosed, and Ryan's and his friends find her in a dark alley.
Yes. Everything fell for her. Everything was destroyed. Her dad is leaving home. Their parents are getting a divorce.
Her boyfriend cheated on her.
Exactly. She figured that out all on the same fucking day. You know, she was going to Mexico with everyone else, and yeah, her dad called her, and then the next day she found Luke making out with another girl. So that's, and she also learned that he used to do that with a lot of other girls. So
yeah. Not the first, not the last.
Everything is going to shit, and yes, like we said before, Marissa has a tendency to self-destroy whenever things go bad, so yeah. That's what she did, and it did not end on a high note.
No.
So yeah, we gotta take care of her. This episode is called The Rescue, so I'm guessing it's her rescue, but we need to talk about this. Please. She needs to talk to someone. She needs to, I mean, she needs help, for sure.
Her parents need to wake the fuck up and see that their own daughter is suffering from
a lot of shit.
Everything!
And speaking of her parents, Jimmy kissed Kirsten. Fuck. And she left, but that's gonna, if Sandy figures that out, that's not gonna be beautiful. No. So, not gonna be pretty. And the only nice thing that happened last episode was that Seth and Summer are getting closer.
Yeah. That was nice. That was cute.
So, yeah, with all the shit that happened last episode, this one is gonna be maybe hard to go through. So I say we jump into it right now and brace ourselves for the rescue.
Alright.
Let's go.
Oh, hey.
That's gonna be awkward.
She just fell back asleep. But she was awake and aware.
Where's our mom?
She was away, so.
A day or so. They want to keep her under observation.
That's hospital policy. Oh, I guess there's no need to worry, right?
Okay. Sure.
I mean, a teenage girl plums a dozen painkillers and washes it down with tequila. It's perfectly normal, right? What are you doing here?
I called them.
What Marissa needs right now is to be with her family. No visitors.
Well, they're not just visitors. Like, he's the one who saved her. At the very least, she mentioned the fact that there are problems to deal with.
Excuse me, Ryan? Can I talk to you for a sec?
A good talk to you.
Please just be thankful to him and don't blame him. It's not his fault.
I don't know what happened in Mexico, but here's what I do know. Since you showed up, Marissa's been a wreck.
She was a wreck before that.
Go to her own cotillion, having problems with her boyfriend. And now you can add another shining accomplishment to your list of achievements. In addition to stealing cars, burning down houses, and befriending would-be assassins, you've almost killed my daughter.
Girl. None of what was going on with her had to do with them.
I would never do anything to her, Marissa.
Well, you're not going to get the chance, because you're never going to see her again. You even try, and I'll make sure you're thrown back in juvie, where you belong.
You're part of the problem, the dad is part of the problem, and Luke was also a huge part of the problem.
I can understand why she might think that, because it's true that since he showed up, everything just fell down. But those problems were growing up even before Ren was there, so.
We didn't put on the glasses.
Not this time, next time.
Not today.
Now is not the time to be cool. Okay?
Maybe having a guy in her life that was actually nice and willing to listen is what made her realize that her life was shit. But she was passing out from too much drinking before he showed up, sort of.
Guys, I'm gonna check in with the events committee, so I'll catch up with you at the dean's office.
That's the school.
Ryan, don't be nervous. You're gonna do great.
Weak grades, truancy, notation regarding some criminal activity. It was a misdemeanor. Probation, nonetheless, not exactly harbor school material.
Dr. Kim, Ryan's had a lot to overcome, but Sandy and I feel that in the right environment, he could really excel.
I just think a place like Newport Union might be a better fit for a student with Ryan's background.
My background? I can't change where I'm from, but I can change where I'm going.
Ryan, You understand that if you did fail, you would lose a year, not to mention self-confidence.
With all due respect, Dr. Kemp, if you think not letting me in is going to inspire self-confidence,
He's right.
give me a shot.
You don't know if
No,
you
he's
don't
good.
let him try.
I mean,
You have great test scores. Your grades are borderline, but acceptable. If you could pass a placement exam, it's not an aptitude test. It measures your preparedness, what you've learned, not how bright you are.
Just tell me where and when.
he's willing to try, to give it his all.
Yeah.
He's motivated.
Sound right.
And she's gotta be feeling like shit
Our Betsy's in the hospital.
because of the pills that she had in her purse.
That was exactly what I said.
Spoke to her mom. You?
We went by this morning and she was sleeping. I said she's gonna be okay.
I still can't believe it. I thought she was dead.
Me too. Hey, maybe when she's feeling better, we'll take her out, try and cheer her out, take her to a movie or Six Flags.
Yeah.
Maybe before then, if you want. I don't know. You and me could go see a movie. So.
Hey, Summer. How's it going, Summer?
Hey, you guys.
Don't reject him because of your fucking popularity.
Look, Cohen, this year's all messed up. I mean, Marissa's in the hospital. I'll never speak to Luke or Holly again. You and I
No, I get it. It's fine. We're back at school now. Rules apply.
Don't be a sheep. Be a fucking leader and do what you want to do.
Don't let people's judgment. He's easy to give up because of, you know,
Strong sedative.
how he views himself.
Jesus.
And she jumped on that excuse and left. Fuck.
There's also the peer pressure that's
And then, yeah, that's
everywhere.
Security said they do what they can, but I don't know. You know, this is exactly why I thought San Diego would be good for you.
San Diego?
Dr. Burke has a facility there. She's a psychiatrist, highly recommended. She runs an institute for young women who are troubled.
Start by listening to your daughter.
Institution.
I know you don't understand, but I would rather have you hate me now than risk losing you again.
Does Dad know about this?
Well, I think some time away from your father would be good for you too.
Well, what if I don't want to go?
That's for Dr. Burke to decide. She'll be here after lunch to evaluate you. Please, honey, just talk to her, let her help you. And then we can get you out of here and you can start to get better.
She obviously cares, but she won't listen when she's trying to talk to her. That would help plenty.
Not now, Mom. I'm starting naked.
Ew.
Summer.
Come in.
No way.
Not me.
No. Okay.
Attempt at reconciliation?
Now we do.
That's good, but she's gotta be willing to do this in front of others.
What? Coop just called. She's freaking out. Her mom's threatening to ship her off to the insane asylum.
Really?
Yeah, I'm serious. I've got to do something, Cohen. I need to get radical. I need Ryan.
We can't have me taking a placement exam. What's wrong with me, though? Am I not radical enough?
Well, that depends. Are you ready to take on Julie Cooper?
We need Ryan.
But just let him finish the test.
After her test, yeah.
Hey. What are you guys doing here? Dr. Kemp's coming back any minute. Yeah, I know this isn't the best time, but we, Marissa needs you right now, or us. I've just...
Her mom's gone psycho. She's having her committed.
What is going on in here?
All right, Dr. Kemp, this is not what it looks like, but there's kind of an emergency.
Yeah, we just need to borrow Ryan for a little while.
Ryan is not going anywhere.
Okay.
You two
don't
out,
understand.
out
But there's
now.
kind of an
Goodbye.
No, don't mess this up though, god damn it.
Actually, I gotta go too.
Have you finished the test?
No, but I
Sit down and finish the test.
can't.
Ryan, if this is a level of commitment you plan to bring to your studies here at the Harbor School,
Dr. Kemp, I really don't have time to argue with you right now.
there is no argument. You walk away from this test, you walk away from this school.
You're probably right. It wouldn't have worked out anyway. Sorry for wasting your time.
Maybe the answers he did put on that test will be enough.
I'm waiting for summer. Hi. I'm here for Marissa Cooper.
It's okay, Denise.
Good Lord.
That's his fantasy playing out.
It's It's for charity. All the girls do it.
I should be hospitalized more than.
Well, if you need any help,
Okay, guys, can you get us in the psych ward or not?
just try to keep up with me.
She's actually good.
I'm saying that we need to keep her on suicide watch, but there are definitely some underlying issues that she hasn't been dealing with.
But you can help her.
I can recommend further treatment, psychodynamic therapy, group work.
At the Institute.
At the Institute or here in Newport. I see patients or I can refer you.
No, I want her to get out of Newport. It's too chaotic for her here right now.
She can't leave though. She's got school. She's got her friends.
All right, you decide. I need to check in with the Institute. Excuse me.
Thanks.
If they can keep her
She's going to
nearby
the
She's not
a
going.
secure environment like Newport Beach,
Go ahead.
that'll be better.
Dr. Burke and I think it's for the best.
Well, what about Dad?
Well, he just wants what's best for you too, sweetie. Now, Dr. Burke and I have to finish some paperwork, so you should get dressed, okay?
You'll make her feel like you don't want her around and you'll push her away.
I'm glad you're taking this so well, Marissa.
Yeah, well, if it's for the best, right?
Her friends are probably hiding in the bathroom.
Yep.
That's why she was so
Just
calm.
have me convinced. Here.
Don't mess this up. Even though, like, I don't see an escape, you know? I don't see, like,
Well,
where that
at
would
least
lead them.
Yeah.
They're like,
Ryan.
Ryan tried to escape too and it didn't end up, you know, being good.
Yeah. How are you gonna settle with this?
What is going on?
Let's all sit down and talk.
Negotiate.
This is not an intervention, but...
Do you know where she... No surprise you're involved in all this. Where is she?
I don't know. At a bus station on a tropical island somewhere. Right.
I cannot believe you're chaperoning this farce.
Let's all talk.
Talk about what? What is there to talk about?
Well, if you ever want to see your daughter, I want you to.
Don't say that like it's a threat.
You tell me where she is, and then I am taking her home. She just ran away from a hospital.
Ran away from you.
Yeah, that's kind of...
You're from Riverside, right? That's not too far from where I grew up.
I am calling the police in like 2
And
seconds.
I know this place has everything we never had. And I know you're afraid you're gonna lose it all, everything you've ever wanted.
I'm done.
But what you want and what your daughter wants are two different things.
You don't know what she wants.
I know what she doesn't want. She doesn't want to go to San Diego.
Eh, she's just
She
there.
doesn't want to live with you.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say to any of this.
Just say yes.
Oh, honey. No, you don't mean
Yes, I do. Look, I know you're only trying to help. You're just making everything worse.
It's gotta hurt to hear that.
But look, I'm not gonna hurt myself again. And I'll even still see a therapist if you want. But I want to do it here. And I want to live with Dad. I mean, at least for now.
This isn't over, Marissa. I'll let myself out.
You should work with her.
Yeah, but right now she's too prideful and she's too hurt to try and work with her. Later.
So you still think that after everything that happened today, when we get back to school, you're gonna be able to ignore me?
Well, all I can do is try.
I admire your will.
That's better than nothing.
Hey!
Hey, how'd it go?
It's over.
Yeah?
Summer, you should take Marissa home. To her dad's.
Bye, Summer.
You got her! You got her!
Yep. She gonna try hard.
Okay.
But you and Summer seemed pretty chummy yesterday. Dad, chummy? It's okay, you can tell me. I really can't. You can't tell your dad, who can you tell? Gee, I don't know, Ryan, Mom. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. When are you leaving? Hey.
They have a good relationship.
What's the verdict?
You passed. You did very well.
Congratulations, you're a pirate. You guys are pirates? Yeah, I know, it's a bit minty.
Thank you, Dr. Kim, for giving Ryan
Ryan another chance.
Mr. Cohen, I told Ryan that if he ever pulls a stunt like that again, he's going to need a much better lawyer than you to get him out of it.
Shit.
Welcome to the Harbor School, Ryan.
Now that you're in, stay in. Because in this type of shows, the opportunity to mess up again is not too far away. Ever. Oh, okay. I'm very conflicted when it comes to Julie because I do know where she comes from. I understand it. And I understand that all she wants to do is help. The thing is, she's so convinced, like, we've seen this with our mom, you know, and we see this with a lot of parents.
I've experienced it first off with my mom when I was in high school.
You know, when something happens in your life and then your parent just thinks that they understand everything that's happening in your life and they know exactly what the issue is and they think they know better than you. Like, I've had a friend before, you know, who my mom didn't really like, and I would spend time with that friend every single day, every day, and she had it. My mom had a tendency to, you know, take me aside and be like, this is not the type of people I want you to hang out with. Not because she was dangerous or anything. She was different, I guess. She was, I mean, you would call it weird, and I thought the weirdness was nice. You know, I was weird too, so I hung out with that person and we had fun. But my mom would have rather, you know, have me stick to the popular crowd maybe, or, you know, be conventional with my friends and with my way of acting. So when I hung out with that person and I would do weird stuff, like, and I mean really weird, like geeky and kind of idiot stuff, nothing dangerous, just not conventional, she wouldn't like that. So automatically she would be like, that person is not good for you, that person doesn't, you know, you're gonna regret having a friend like this in the future. Stuff that you're like, you're a kid, you hear that and you're like, nah, who do you think you are? You know, why are you telling me this? You think you know everything that person is? Like, you don't know that person, you don't hang out with that person, so why do you judge that person? So I see this with Ryan, and Julie is like convinced when she sees Marissa like this. She's never seen her have a problem before, so she immediately assumes that the problem is Ryan, and she thinks she's right. So, and every time Marissa tries to tell her that, no, you're wrong, this is not Ryan's fault, it goes in one ear and goes out the other ear. You know, she doesn't want to listen because she's convinced she knows the truth.
It doesn't go along with what she believes happened and what's right, so yeah.
And, like, she's never acknowledged that Marissa had issues, and she doesn't want to acknowledge it because acknowledging it means that she had problems at home and in her life before, and that's just, that the fault would fall not on Ryan, but on her and her dad, because they didn't figure it out before. They didn't notice before, and you don't want to, you don't want to admit that you are part of the problem ever.
It's also so frustrating when you're trying to explain what's going on or what you're feeling, and the one that you trust to tell what's going on with your life, it just doesn't listen to you, or just assume things and just talk over you and said, oh, if you want to see a psychiatrist, you can see one. If you want to talk to someone, you can talk to someone. But she's not listening. That person is not listening to what you're trying to say. So you said something to someone, and that person completely understands something else from what
that's lying to yourself about, you know, what the real issue is. In this case, Marissa says that her mom is part of the problem, and she definitely wants to go with her dad because her mom is not willing to listen, and her mom just makes things worse. I mean, we are bashing Julie, but we do understand, like, for a mom to hear these words, you know, to have to hear her daughter say, you are part of the problem, and right now I don't want to spend time with you, that's gotta hurt.
For our parents, it is harsh to try to hurt and admit that your kid is suffering because of you.
And before that, she didn't want to acknowledge that there was even a problem. So that's a lot of truth bombs that are falling on her right now. I wish she would, you know, calm down and talk to her daughter, really talk to her and listen to her and try to work with Marissa to make things better. And instead, when she left, she said, this is not over. I have a feeling that she's going to try to fight this, still try to go to court to have full custody, maybe. That's just going to make things worse. Like, she really got to stop and listen. But then, like, like I said before, I do understand where she comes from, so I can't completely blame her. Like, Ryan's speech made a lot of sense because he basically took every issue that she had and put them to light. Like, we knew about her being afraid that she was going to lose it all. That's what she said to Kirsten.
Yeah.
But Ryan can actually connect with Julie. He can understand where she's coming from because they come from a very similar background.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of pushing him away and just fearing him, because I think because she comes from a place that's similar to where he comes from, she thinks that she knows his type. You know, she thinks that he's going to bring in danger, he's going to bring in problems, and there's also the whole thing that he's not from their circle, but she's not from the circle either. She adapted. So she, instead of fearing him and fearing his relationship with her daughter, she should actually try to see herself in him. Might maybe see the good he could bring, because he brings a breath of fresh air to her daughter, who's been stuck in that lifestyle and stuck in the pretend game that they've all been playing, and he brings in truth and he brings in an ear to listen. She should try to accept him more and try to see the real guy, not just the reputation he automatically brings because of his past.
Unless you think that because of her background and because of what type of person she is, she thinks that she's not a good person, and maybe she thinks that Ryan is the same.
Well, I've literally just said that because she knows the background, she automatically assumes that she knows.
No, but you said that she could try and see the good in him because they come from the same place, and she could give him a chance because she had some person give her a chance.
I'm just saying, automatically she sees him come from that background and she thinks he's going to be trouble because she knows his type. But then she was also from that background and she did just fine. So instead of just, you know, assuming things about him, she should give him a chance and try to listen, try to talk, maybe try to see, you know, a bit of herself in him and connect. That could happen.
Yeah, it's like we don't listen to ourselves. We're not listening to ourselves right now.
What?
Never mind. Okay. Speaking of parents trying to have the sole custody of their children, if you never want to put your children between the mom and the dad during those fights, it's really ugly, and the kids heard everything and suffered from it.
I know why she's doing it though, because he did put them in this situation. To be fair, she needs to also, you know, I mean, it's not necessarily entirely her fault because Jimmy did mess up and he did, you know, lie about the money and he did put them in that mess and he's got to face the consequences. But he is facing the consequences. So there's that. And it's not like he did it because he could, you know, he did it because of the impossible lifestyle that they all were having. So she kind of needs to talk to him and try to listen to his side of the story a little bit more, because there is a reason why he did it, and the reason is not bad. The reason makes sense, and the reason makes him actually, well, in his own story, it makes him the good guy. You know, he was doing it. That's why he keeps trying to justify what he did. He was the good guy in his own story because he was trying to provide for his family and give them everything they wanted, which is a good motivation. It's just that he did it wrong. He didn't kill someone just because he could. You know, he's not a danger to his kids. She sees him as the evil because of what it did to her and what it did to her reputation and now what it's making her go through. But it doesn't mean that because she's going through that because of him, that he's going to be a threat to her kids. And considering what her kids are going through, at least what Marissa is going through, separating them from their dad and, you know, stopping them from seeing him, it is going to make her the evil mom in the situation, and it will mess up her kids.
Yeah, it might make things really worse to just try to take the kids and take them away from their father, because even though he did a bad thing doesn't mean that he's a bad dad.
And, like, let's be real, like, we've been in Marissa's shoes at one point when it comes to, you know, custody battles and stuff. Honestly, I'm not ashamed to say it because we were kids, but when you're a kid and your parents are saying, well, I mean, we're talking about, you know, you staying with me for forever and not seeing the other person, or at least you're going to see him like one weekend, 2 weekends per month instead of, you know, two weeks per month. And what do you think about that? unless you have problems with your parents, the kids will be like, well, I want to spend as much time with my dad as I do my mom, or vice versa, and or sometimes they'll have a favorite, but we were not like that. Like we personally wanted to have 1 week with our dad, 1 week with our mom. If the parents have issues that lead them to think that it'd be better for the kids to spend all their time with one parent over the other, the kids won't care. The kids won't try to care or try to understand the parents because they're kids. Right now it's about them, they're being put in that situation and they're being asked to choose. And as kids, like, well, we didn't back then, like, we didn't try to understand the side, our mom's side, our dad's side, and what the issues were. First of all, because no one was telling us what the issue was, but also because you don't want to see the evil in one of your parents. You don't want one of them to be the bad guy. So in this case, it's kind of, Julie is putting herself in the bad guy's shoes. Marissa doesn't want to see the bad side in her dad because it's her dad, No matter what he did, she's going to try to, see him as her dad and erase the wrongdoings or try to give him an explanation. Well, he did that, but, he's still my dad. I still love him. And with everything that Julie is doing, she is unfortunately going to want to go more with the dad. Yeah. So,
just like I said, even though that he did a bad thing, he's not a bad father, same thing. Even though that he got issues with the mom, doesn't mean that he's a bad father or that she's technically not a bad mother.
She's not a bad person.
But parents need to learn to put their issues between them away from their children and not put their children between their issues and between their fights.
Well, it's not really that Julie's doing, because he did mess up with money, he did lie and steal. He is a criminal and he is still going through the consequences for that.
I know.
So she doesn't want her children to have to go through that too, She doesn't want her children to deal with the consequences the way he's going to have to do. And she wanted out of that situation, and she wants her children out of that situation as well. But in that moment and the way it's happening, just stripping them of their chance to ever see their dad is not how you should handle it. Because the kids, like I said, will not try to understand your side of the story. You're putting yourself in the bad guy's shoes, and it's going to make things worse. It's complicated. There is never a right way or wrong way, especially if one of the parents actually did something, bad that would, send him to prison eventually if, he had no choice. Because now with Sandy's help, like, he will have to repay the money. I hope he can, because otherwise he's going to go to jail. And in that case, if the kids are with him, that's not good. But it's a mess. She's just not handling it right. He's not helping much because he argues, but he doesn't offer solutions or anything, She was actually the one who said that Marissa had problems that led to the overdose, not just it happened, we need to deal with the problems, which is a good thing. It's just that she automatically assumes that the problem is Ryan. She's dead set on that. So she forgets everything else. She hasn't paid attention to the problems before. It's not going to change now. Well, maybe now, but it wouldn't change before.
To be fair, though, it is technically true that since Ryan's arrival, the thing just fell down.
Well, apparently not, because she's been, acting out since she was little.
Yeah, but I think for Julie, those little acting out stunt were just...
And of course she would think so, but she never noticed.
Rich kid did, like stealing things and shops.
Yeah, but she never noticed her daughter coming home, with her friends bringing her daughter home passed out from drinking alcohol. She wasn't there to notice that. And she thought her daughter was anorexic. She had anorexia, and then Marissa tried to tell her what was really going on, and she just assumed and moved on.
Yeah. It's just...
Baby, he's just trying to do his claws on my chair.
Yeah, it just really sad that at the same time that Ryan came to Newport Beach, like, everything just fell on in her own family.
But we saw her in the first episode. She had issues.
She had issues beforehand, that's for sure.
Like I said, I think that maybe having someone to listen and someone to, mess up her feelings a little bit when it comes to settling, because he gave her an opportunity to just be happy, it made her realize even more
What
how
she had,
messed
what
up
just-
everything was. Yeah. So maybe that's what he did. He just gave her a wake up call, but Luke was the one that triggered the response in Mexico, and her dad and her mom's problems were what led to her just having too much stuff to handle the Luke blow.
Yeah.
Ryan was just there to support her, and he actually saved her. So yeah, he's not the problem. He could be the solution. Give him a chance.
Be Dr. Kim. Give him a chance.
Yeah.
Alright. So thank you guys for watching this episode with us. It was enlightening to see what's gonna happen next.
And we have so much issues to face now. The
Yeah.
Sandy and Kirsten situation.
Yes. I hope that things blow up with them.
At least Summer and Seth are moving on a little bit. Hopefully she can still hang out
She's
with him
gonna
despite
try.
the crowd.
She's gonna try harder to associate with him at school. That'd be nice.
We didn't talk about them much at all, but that's because
Next
everything
time.
else took too much time. But
Next time.
But yeah, now Ryan is gonna go to school with them. Hopefully things can go well. But yeah. So if you want to see the next episode, check out Patreon. The link is in the description below. It should be there.
It should be there. And if you don't, you can wait for the next one to be out on YouTube, which will be next week. So we're gonna see you then, guys.
Bye.